So tell us about you, Faye said eventually. I snapped out of my daydreams, feeling like a kid in a school that just been called on. What kind of a space are you envisioning yourself? She wanted to know. Those were actual words. Oh, Turtle and I are flex, I said. Right now we're staying downtown at the Republic. I jockeyed fried food at the Burger Derby for a while, but I got fired. Leisha went kind of stiff on that one. I imagine all the little elephants on her shifting on her shift, getting stung through the heart with a tiny stun gun. Timothy was trying to get Turtle's attention by making faces, so far with no luck. Usually kids aren't into faces, he informed me. She seems kind of spaced out. Kids are into faces, he informed me. She seems kind of spaced out. She makes up her own mind about what she's into. She shares a lot of hair, he said. How old is she? 18 months, I said. It was a wild guess. She looks very Indian. Native American, Faye corrected him. She does. Is her father Native American? Her great-great-grandpa was full-blooded Cherokee, I said. On my side. Cherokee skips a generation, like red hair. Did you know that? Whoops. I like them here. The second house on my agenda turned out to be right across the park from Jesus' Lord's. It belonged to Luann Ruiz. Within 10 minutes, Luann and I were in the kitchen drinking Diet Pepsi and splitting our gifts. Our goussettes laughing about homeostasis and bean turds. We had already established that our hometowns in Kentucky were separate but only 2 counties away, and that we had both been to the exact same Bob Seger concert at the Kentucky State Fair my senior year. So then what happened? Luann had tears in her eyes. I hadn't really meant to put them down. They seemed like basically good kids, but it just got funnier as it went along. Nothing happened. In their way, they were so polite it was pathetic. I mean, it was plain as day. They thought Turtle was a dimwit and I was from some part of Mars where they don't have indoor bathrooms. But they just kept on asking things like, would I like some alfalfa tea? I had finally told them no thanks. That we'd just run along and envision ourselves in some other space. Luann showed me the rest of the house except for a room, where the baby was asleep. Turtle and I would have our own room, plus a screened-in back porch if we wanted it. She said it was great to sleep out there in the summer. We had to whisper around the house so we wouldn't wake the baby. He was just born in January, Luann said when we were back in the kitchen. How old's yours? Tell you the truth, I don't even know. She was adopted. Well, didn't they tell you all that stuff when you adopted her? Didn't she come with a birth certificate or something? It wasn't an official adoption. Somebody just kind of gave her to me. You mean like she was left on your doorstep in a basket? Exactly, except it was in my car. And there wasn't any basket. Now that I think about it, there should have at least been a basket. Indians make good baskets. She's Indian. Wasn't there even a note? How do you know her name's Turtle? I don't know. I don't. I named it. It's just temporary until I can figure out what her real name is. I figure I'll hint it on sooner or later. Earl was in a high chair of Luann's that must have been way too big for a kid born in January. On the tray there were real decals of Kermit the Frog and Miss Piggy, which Turtle was slapping with her hands. There was nothing there for her to grab. I picked her up out of the chair and hefted her onto my shoulder, where she could reach my braid. She didn't pull it. She just held onto it like a lifeline. This is one of our normal positions. I can't get over it, Luann said. That somebody would just dump her like an extra puppy. Yeah, I know. I think it was somebody that cared for her, though, if you can believe it. Turtle was having a real rough time. I don't know if she would have made it where she was. A fat gray cat with white feet was sleeping on the windowsill over the sink. Or so I thought, until all of a sudden it jumped down and streaked out of the kitchen. Luann had her back to the door. But I could see the cat in the next room. It was walking around in circles on the living room rug, kicking its feet behind it again and again, throwing invisible sand over the invisible cat poop. "You wouldn't believe what your cat is doing," I said. "Oh, yes, I would," Luann said. "He's acting like he just went potty, right?" "Right, but he didn't, as far as I can see." "Oh, no, he never does. I think he has a split personality. The good cat wakes up and thinks the bad cat has just pooped on the rug. See, we got him as a kitty, and I named him Snow Boots, but Angel thought that was a stupid name, so we always called him Pachuco instead. Then a while back, before Dwayne Ray was born, he started acting like that way. Angel's my ex-husband, by the way. It took some effort here to keep straight who is cat and who is husbands." Luann went on, "So, just the other day, I read in a magazine that a major cause of split personality is if two parents treat a kid in real different ways. Like one all the time tells a kid it's good and the other says it's bad. It gives them this idea that they have to be both ways at once." "That's amazing," I said. "Your cat ought to be in Ripley's Believe It or Not. One of the magazine columns where people write in and tell what cute things their pets do, like parakeets that whistle Dixie or cats that only sleep on certain towels with pictures of goldfish on." "Oh, I wouldn't want anyone to know about Snow Boots. It's too embarrassing. It's just about proof positive that he's from a broken home, don't you think?" "What does Pachuco mean?" "It means like a bad Mexican boy. One that would go around, spray painting walls, and join a gang." Pachuco Elias Snow Boots was still going at it in the living room. "Seriously," I said, "you should send it in. They'd probably pay good money. It's unbelievable what kind of things you can get paid for. Or at the very least, they send you a free case of cat chow. I almost won a year of free diapers for Dwayne Ray. Dwayne Ray's my son." "Oh, what does he do?" Luann laughed. "Oh, he's normal. The only one in the house, I guess. Do you want some more Pepsi?" She got up to refill our glasses. "So did you drive out here or fly or what?" I told her that I was driving across. That driving across the Indian reservation was how I ended up with Turtle. Our paths would never have crossed if it weren't for a bent rocker arm. "Well, if something had to go wrong, at least you can thank your stars that you were in a car and not an airplane," she said, whacking an ice cube tray on the counter. I felt Turtle flinch on my shoulder. "I never thought of it that way," I said. "I could never fly an airplane. Oh, Lord, never. Remember that one winter when a plane went right smack dab into the frozen river in Washington, D.C.? On TV, I saw them pulling the bodies out frozen stiff with their knees and arms, bent like those little plastic cowboys that are supposed to be riding horses. But then when you lose the horse, they're just useless." Oh, God, that was so pathetic. I can just hear the stewardess saying, "Fasten your seatbelt, folks. Call me as you please. Like, don't worry, we just have to say this." And the next thing you know, you're a hunk of ice. Oh, shoot, there's Dwayne Ray, just woke up from his nap. Let me go get him. I do remember that airplane crash. On TV, they showed the rescue helicopter dropping down a rope to save the only surviving stewardess from an icy river full of dead people. I remember just how she looked hanging on to that rope, like Turtle. In a minute, Luann came back with the baby. "Dwayne Ray, here's some nice people I want you to meet. Say hi." He was teeny, with skin you could practically see through. It reminded me of the Visible Man we had in Hugh's Walter biology class. "He's adorable," I said. "Do you think so, really? I mean, I love him to death, of course, but I think his head's flat. They all are. They start out that way. Then after a while, their foreheads kind of pop out." "Really? I never knew that. They never told me that." "Sure, I used to work in a hospital. I saw a lot of newborns coming and going, and every one of them's head was flat as a shovel." She made a serious face and fussed with the baby for a while, without saying anything. "So what do you think?" I finally said. "Is it okay if we move in?" "Sure." Her wide eyes and the way she held her baby reminded me for a minute of Sandy. The lady downtown could paint either one of them. Bewildered Madonna with sunflower eyes. "Of course you can move in," she said. "I'd love it. I wasn't sure if you wanted to." "Why wouldn't I want to?" Well, my gosh, I mean, here you are so skinny and smart and cute and everything, and me and Ray, well, we're just moping along here trying to get by. When I put that ad in the paper, I thought, well, this is sure $4 down the toilet. Who in the world would want to move in here with us? Stop it, would you? Quit making everything about to be better than you are. I'm just a plain hillbilly from East Jesus Nowhere with this adopted child that everybody keeps on telling me is dumb as a box of rocks. I got nothing on you, girl. I mean it. Luann hit her mouth with her hand. What? I said. Nothing. I could see perfectly well that she was smiling. Come on, what is it? It's been so long. She said, you talk just like me.